We're going to be talking about the body fluid spill kit that you'll find in each bus. It's mandatory that one be in there, and it looks something like this. Every bus has a little white box like this. Some of them actually say body fluid cleanup kit. Some of the newer ones, they say they're first aid kits. I've tried to put a sticker over those. I haven't gotten to all of them. We've removed all the first aid stuff out of there. We don't want our drivers to be paramedics in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that's in this box is the spill kit, some Band-Aids for your use, and we're going to ultimately have scissors in there. They're not in there yet, but they'll be in there very shortly. So if you ever have to use this, you have a way of opening that. So what we have here on this board is the content of the package. There's several different types of this, so if you open yours, it might not look exactly like this, but I can go through this. All of this stuff is inside one of these bags, and one of these bags has the instructions on the outside. Now, some of the older models have a piece of paper inside that have the instructions on. It's not printed on the bag, but most of them have the bag with the instructions on the outside. They give you the basic of how this works. I'm going to embellish that a little bit, the things I want you to do to protect yourself. Okay, the other thing in the kit is Band-Aids. Now, they're not in this bag. I put those in myself so that the drivers, if you have a cut or anything during the day, you've got something you can put on it. You're welcome to hand these out to clients, but don't put them on. You know, if somebody's got a small cut and they could use a Band-Aid, you're welcome to give it to them, but I really strongly suggest you don't apply it. Let them put it on themselves. Okay, the other thing in the kit is plastic gloves. There's one pair inside this, and I've got 2 or 3 pair in that kit that I've put in extra. You're welcome to use those for anything you want. Just write on the pre-trip or let somebody know that you used them so we can get them replaced. This is a scent guard. If you're cleaning up something stinky, you can put this on and it helps. This particular type has a plastic eye protection thing on it, I guess, if you were to spray something. Not many of them have that, but this particular one does. This one also has an apron. The one we're demonstrating does not, and most of them don't. We have our fluid solidifier. Every kit has something like that. That's what we're going to put on the spill. It's going to contain it. Okay. This one has a red hazmat bag. Everything needs to end up in a red bag. So that's what we'll do here. Most of the kits have 2 bags. They have either a black or a white bag that the first part of stuff goes in, and then into the hazmat bag. I'm going to demonstrate the 2-bag system just in case you run into that. Okay, we have a germicidal wipe that once you get everything, the bulk of everything cleaned up, you can wipe down the area and kill all the germs. Here we have a little, this is actually a spatula. This breaks off of here. It just becomes a scraper and spatula for cleaning up the mess. This kit has just hand wipes. Some of the kits have a towel and a wet wipe, but you want to do that after all said and done. The last thing you do is wipe your hands off with this. Some of the kits have a tag. That's useless to us. We don't track biohazards. We don't really have a biohazard process here at Van Buren Transit because it doesn't happen very often. It's just not enough to make it worth tracking. So that if you get one with the card, just disregard that. Okay, so that's the basic contents of the bag. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a spill with some coffee here. Okay, so now we have a biohazard. Now whenever you find anything on the bus that you don't know what it is, consider it a biohazard. You just don't want to take any chances. I mean, we're talking about hepatitis, we're talking about any number of diseases that could be bloodborne or contact, and you just don't want to deal with that. It's better to just be safe. You want to be sure if you find something like that or you're notified of something like that, get the bus in a safe place, turn on your 4-way flashers. The next thing you want to do is make sure that all your clients are backed off away from the area so nobody can interact with that either on purpose or by accident. You want to make sure everybody's a safe distance from the biohazard. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our hands. First thing you want to look for is jewelry. If you have some kind of jewelry that's got a raised edge or sharp edge or potentially a sharp edge, take it off and put it in your pocket, because that could cut through the gloves and void the protective equipment. The next thing you want to look for is cuts and scrapes on your hands. The first line of defense you got against any biohazard is your skin, and it works very well unless it's damaged. So look it over. If you've got a little cut somewhere, that's what the Band-Aids are in the kit for. That's specifically why I put them in there. Just put a Band-Aid on the area and just make sure it's sealed up real good. Okay, so our hands are good, we're ready to go. The next thing I'm going to do is put the gloves on. Now the kit comes with one pair of gloves, and I've put extra ones in there. And I suggest if you have to deal with something like this, you don't know what you're dealing with, I'd put on 2 pair of gloves. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of this and have this something snag off the floor or something and rip one pair of gloves, and then I've been exposed. I don't want to be exposed to anything nasty. So I'm going to put on 2 pair of gloves. They go on pretty easy. With the gloves, the ones that are actually in the kits, when you open those up, some of these kits have been around a while, so if the gloves are yellow, don't use them. Because what they're doing is they're starting to dry out, and they'll crack and they'll cut and they'll break real easy. You don't want to use them. Like I said, I've got 2 or 3 pair of newer gloves in just a few months ago, so use those and just throw the other ones away. Okay, the first thing we're going to do now, we got our protective equipment on, and we're going to contain the biohazard. Now, we're going to put little scissors, like kid type scissors, in all the boxes. They're not there yet, but they'll be there very soon. This is August of 2016, so shortly after this video we're going to have these in, because we found out in doing this that this bag requires scissors to open it. So I have some scissors here, and I've cut the top off. Okay, now this stuff kind of looks like salt in this bag. There's different types, but each one of these grains, those little tiny grains, absorbs 30% of its weight in fluid, so it's really effective. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside. I don't want to, if I put it in the middle, it will force the fluid to run, and then I'd have to chase it. So I'm going to put it around the outside to keep that from happening. And if you can see that, you can see it's already setting up. Now once the bag is cut, go ahead and use it all. Just dump it on there, because we're not going to save it for anything else that's going to be trash. Okay, so now I've got my biohazard contained. It can't run anywhere, and it's starting to soak up. You can see how that's working. That takes 30 seconds to a minute to work. So while that's doing that, I'm going to open up my bags. Like I said, this display has a 1-bag system. The kit that I opened has 2 bags. So I'm going to show you the 2-bag system. The only difference being, if you ever have a 1 bag, you just don't do this first process. Now this bag is gigantic for some reason. But what I'm going to do is, you can see I'm rolling the lip to the outside. And the 2 reasons for that. One, I don't have to touch anything on the inside of the bag when I close it up. The other is it stays open. So I can just put stuff in there. I don't have to open the bag with one hand and try to get a biohazard in there. So I'm going to do that with both bags. And have them ready to go. So when I need them, they're all set. Okay, now you can see this one's marked biohazard. This will be the one we have. Everything goes into this one ultimately, so that the general public knows that it's a biohazard contained in there. Now see, I've rolled the outside of this one too, and here again, standing open, ready to go. Okay, so now my stuff has been soaking up there for a minute or so. My bags are ready to go, so I'm ready to start cleaning up. I'm going to kind of start from the outside and just start bringing this in to a pile. It's kind of sticky, so it's going to take more than one swipe to get it all. Okay, so I'm putting this in the white bag. The white bag is the first bag we're going to use to fill things up. Try to get as much of the absorbed powder up as you can. Now I know that we're dealing with a flat surface, so I'm getting probably 99% of it. On a bus, you know, if it ends up on the mats, the runners, they have ridges in them, just do the best you can. We know that some will stay down in there, but the next step, the sanitizer has enough fluid in it that'll soak down in there and neutralize any bugs that might be in there. So I've dropped my waste in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop my tools in there. Okay, this is a sanitary wipe, or it's germicidal. Now, oddly enough, it has a little notch to open it, but it's on the bottom, so you kind of got to watch for it. And if you don't see it right offhand, just use the scissors that we're going to have in the kit. Like I said, everything just goes in that bag. Well, this has a lot of liquid in it. You can tell when you open it, it's really holding a lot. So here we want to start from the outside, again, work our way in, and wipe the entire area down that was contacted with either the biohazard or the drying compound. Just get that area all clean. And I don't think you can see in the video, but it's leaving a lot of fluid on there, so that supports that if there's like ridges in the mat or something like that, that fluid is going to kind of work its way down in and kind of take the danger out of that substance. Okay, so we're all wiped down. My area is disinfected now. My substance is contained. We're in pretty good shape. Now I chose not to use the scent bag because obviously coffee didn't have any scent to it, but these just hook over your ears. It's there if you need it. So I'm going to take a second and throw all the trash in this bag that I have right now. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of one pair of gloves because these pair of gloves have been in contact with everything that I've dealt with so far today. There's a way I want to take these off. The first thing I'm going to do is pinch the outside of this glove. You see, I don't want to touch the inside glove with anything that's been exposed. So you can see I've never touched this glove. It's completely clean. This one has been in contact. And the same thing on this side, I can reach inside with this and just peel it off. So both these gloves now are effectively sterile. They've not been involved with any of the crap. Okay, so that's my white bag. It's got everything in it, okay? It's got my gloves, everything that's been exposed to the biohazard is in here, plus the trash. I'm rolling it up. See, I'm coming up from the outside. I'm not dealing it with anything on the inside. When you close this up, you got to be careful not to have your face over the bag because air will come rushing out and there's no point in taking that kind of a hazard either. So you always have, this is the thing where you think of yourself first. You always want to protect yourself from, okay, so I got a twist tie that came with the kit and I've sealed that up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that in the biohazard. This bag has a biohazard in it. The outside bag is going to tell us that it has a biohazard. I'm going to go ahead and roll that up a little so that it's all contained. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is open my hand wipes. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to take my gloves off. These can come off anyway. They're not. I don't touch my skin with them. I take them off the same way, but they go in the next set. Now, one of these is a towel, and one of these is a wipe that has fluid on it, I believe. We'll open them and see. This one only has one. It's kind of like Purell, I believe. Yeah, this one is wet. I'll go ahead and wipe my hands real good with it. Now this is all good to get your hands all wiped down with this stuff, but when you get to any place, your next stop, that you don't have clients on the bus, you really need to get off and wash your hands really good with soap and water. That's ultimately ends up being the best thing you can do always for protecting yourself. Now, this may be a drying towel. Nope, this one had two liquids in it, so I guess one for each hand. I don't know, we don't really need it. Okay, so that's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm rolling this up from the outside here again. I'm not touching anything inside the bag, keeping my face back so it doesn't get a gush of air from biohazard kit. I'm rolling it up. I got one more twist tie for the second bag. And there we go. Put this up generally like in the corner of the less behind you. And then when you get back to base, take it and throw it in the dumpster out back. Don't just drop it in one of the trash cans around here because it is a biohazard. And the best thing to do with it is just put it in the dumpster out there so nobody else has to come in contact with it. If you threw it in one of our trash cans here, it could get snagged on something and then rip and then possibly expose another employee inadvertently. So just take it right out to the dumpster, and that's how to dispose of that. Up front, I didn't say up front, but if you use the spill kit, notify dispatch that you've used it so they know what's going on, and be sure, like I said, be sure to write on your pre-trip down in the notes column that you used it so we can replace it. If you have any questions after this, contact myself or Jeff, and we'll take care of it. Thank you very much.